Well, hello and welcome to 3 tarot card pick with crystals with Spirited Tarot with Margaret Emery. We're so glad you're here. We have some lovely crystals and 3 cards for us to look at together. I want you to know that I've shuffled the deck very carefully and very thoroughly, and then I cut it into 3 piles, and I put a crystal or a gemstone really on each pile. So I want you to take a couple of deep breaths. Let all the stress out from the week. Take another deep breath. Wonderful. And let's see where our eye follows. I'm thinking maybe this lovely angel light crystal. It's a very, very beautiful light blue. You can see it's so delicate and very calming. This is the stone of peace and brotherhood. And because blue is associated with the throat chakra, this is a very good crystal for gemstone, really, for communication and anything that has to do with the throat, opening up the throat. So we can see it's a very calming and peaceful stone that allows you to really be in touch with your intuition. You can use it to open your third eye. Beautiful stone. Let's see the card that's on the top of the middle pile. We have the ten of swords. Swords in tarot have to do with the mind. They connect with the element of air, and air is for communication, thoughts, mental activity. And in tarot we have 4 suites, and swords being one of the 4, from 1 to 10. 10, you can see, is pretty thorough. He has 10 swords in his back, and I would say that's the end. It couldn't go any further. So with the 10 of swords, we're always looking, well, not only to the terrible aspect of being stabbed in the back, but really it connotes endings. You know, whatever you've been dealing with, it's come to an end. There's no further truck with this particular situation, relationship. It's an ending. But as you can see, we have a black sky, we have the red robe, could be, a symbol of blood, but we have a strip of blue and a strip of purple, like purple mountains, and we have that bright yellow in the background. So all is not lost. We can see that there's going to be a morning after, at the end of something, there's a beginning of sorts. Things end and then new things begin. So the positive way of looking at this is that it can't go any worse. It will be over, and now we're looking for a new beginning. So that's very good for the 10 of swords. And let's see, which is next? Well, how about this little stone here? Very, very small, but very, very powerful. I don't know if you can see its gorgeous color. It's tiger eye. So we have it's lovely brown stone, and it's got striations in it. Brown is very much of an earthy, I'm going to bring it up a little bit further, an earthy quality. So this is a very good stone for grounding. And then you can see there's light in it. So we are also connected with our higher self. So this is a very good stone for balancing. As you can see, we have the dark and the light, and it's good for balancing and for connecting your root chakra with your higher self. So people use it a lot to open their intuition, their third eye. I think I think why that works is because if you're grounded, then you can let yourself fly. Does that make sense? So that's why this tiger's eye is such a good connection stone. Very, very good connection stone. I hope you can see it and enjoy it. Tiger's eye. Very, very nice stone. Let's see what card is on the top of this pile. Oh, we have the Knight of Swords. So we're getting a lot of swords. So we're very, very much in our minds tonight, our thoughts, our communication. And as you can see, this fellow, he's on his white horse and they are galloping. There's a lot of movement in this. You can even see that the trees are being blown almost at an angle. So the horse and the rider are racing and they're jumping over a cliff. The Knight of Swords, all the knights in tarot, they're like the Knights of the Round Table. They have their quests. And this fellow, he's very impulsive. He leaps before he thinks, which is interesting because it's the Knight of Swords, and swords have to do with activity. So sometimes this energy is a bit scattered. It's a bit impulsive. We want to rein him in a little bit and have him think before he leaps. So the energy tends to be very, very impulsive, and that can be good, and it can sometimes need a little tempering. But this is the energy. The energy just goes forward and cuts its way through any kind of obstacle. So that's a very, very impulsive energy. Knight of Swords. Very good. And let's see, here we go. We're on to our final crystal gemstone of the night. Oops, I'm sorry about that. I fell. But here it is. It's beautiful stone. It's one of my favorites. It's called moss agate, and it definitely comes from the earth. You can see it's a beautiful white with a little bit of green and brown, kind of mottled, different colors. And it's so smooth to the touch. I really enjoy holding it, and it is very much of a centering stone, and it connects me to the earth, and I feel very, very calm and tranquil. It has healing properties, this moss agate. It's very good for inflammation, and it kind of cleanses the circulatory system and the eliminating system, because it's very good for releasing toxins and coming into balance. As you can see, I wish you could hold it. You'd feel what I'm talking about. But for now, you can see its beautiful variation of color. Very nice. Shall we see what card is at the top of this pile? Let's see. Oh, we have the Hierophant. This is actually the year of the Hierophant in some tarot circles, will say. As you can see, this is, well, he looks kind of like the Pope. He's sitting on a throne. He's got two pillars on either side, and you can see there are two men. They're bald-headed men, almost maybe like church figures. So we have a very a picture of a tradition church. That's what the Hierophant. He's a teacher, and he's a teacher of tradition, and it can either be religious, dogma, or maybe some kind of studies. But when this comes up in a reading, this card, we think there's going to be a teacher that comes along, or some kind of attention to tradition, traditional ways of doing things, structures for society to follow. Very much of a teacher and a guide and a leader in principles. So this particular card comes from the part of the tarot deck called the Major Arcana. It's a set of 21 cards that have to do with big life lessons and karma lessons and ways to be. Everything goes from the Fool all the way through the World. And the Hierophant here is the 5th card. So he's up front and ready to give you counsel. So think about that for this week, along with, or weekend, I should say. We're at Friday, coming down the home stretch for this week with lovely 3-card pick here with Spirited Tarot with Margaret Emery. If you've enjoyed this time together, then I hope I'll see you back. You can maybe subscribe to the channel and have a look at my website, spiritedtarot.com. But I really appreciate you being here. It was a lot of fun to share some of the wisdom of these beautiful stones, and also the tarot cards, the Hierophant, 10 of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So for now, I wish you a good night. And once again, this is Spirited Tarot with Margaret Emery, and I will see you next time.